to Wi-Fi. So that's why it doesn't matter which country I am, where I go. As long as I have a Wi-Fi signal, in a lot of country, you have a free Wi-Fi. You got hotspot. Some of the city, they do have a hotspot. Unfortunately, I have to admit it, in America, our wireless technology is really outdated. We didn't really have a city hotspot. They said, whoa, did you ever see LA city hotspot? No. But you go to Taiwan, yeah, we got plenty. City have a hotspot. Everybody use it for free. You could, just a little bit slow. But sometimes when you get emergency, I want to see a text, I want to see the email, I have to send the information. I cannot say you can really, I could even talk over the phone. And it's clear. No. That's why I tell you to turn on Wi-Fi calling. So if you could, I don't know about the Android phone, but I mean, I know if you're using the iPhone, get on your phone. On the setting, get on the phone, turn on Wi-Fi calling. Android system, yes, because open source code. Apple is hard, very hard. Yeah, it's very hard. Huh? No. So that's why I even, used to be, I'm a window engineer. I got all their certificate from server to their database, and later on I abandoned totally. Why I get everything in Apple? That's why it's really hard. Not only I don't get freeze. Okay, yeah, we see that when we use a window. Freeze. Okay. With Apple, at least, very, very hardly, and when they boot up system, it's a whole lot faster. Okay, and for some reason, their battery life is outrageous. Though. My notebook actually has been using 6 or 7 years. When I bought it, I bought the most updated one. So that means the CPU, everything, and I upgrade my memory, the flash memory 3 times. So I can run my memory actually faster than the one is still selling in Apple Store. Well, the maximum 16 gig, for the flash memory. Now they're selling still is 8 gig. I changed it 3 times because when I bought it, it's only 4 gig flash memory. Then I pop it open, the screw. I replace it myself, change to when the OS operating system is 8 gig. Okay, and then I put 2 slots, 4 gig flash system. When the OS, they can upgrading to 16. I put 2 8 gig, slot because they only got 2 slots on the memory. So every time I maximize it. But did you ever notice that the Apple, they just upgrading their OS again to High Sierra, and it's free. And what do you see? Window. Every time you upgrade a new OS, you pay. That's why. And even when I still learning on using I still using Word, Excel, on the Microsoft. But I mean that package is expensive. If you look at Windows, only costs you $20 for each program. And when you download that, you can actually synchronize it between your iPhone, iPad, and notebook. So when you change something through one of your system, they will update it to others, synchronize it. I'm still learning. It's not like it's not like I want to advertise for Apple, but at least I can utilize it because none of a company, hardware, software, utilize it worldwide under one company. It is because Microsoft, they only doing the software. They didn't do anything hardware, right? But Apple, they do hardware, software, and now it's cloud. Then cloud is important for us now. so I can hook it up everything. Unfortunately, that's, I say, well, I cannot find anything can satisfy for my need. Then I have to switch everything to Apple. Yeah, I cannot say I'm their fan or biggest fan, but for practical point, this is it. Yeah, practical. Because who knows, later on we got more stuff coming up, because like Apple, they are thinking about coming out with the electrical car, just like Tesla. It could be our system, could be hooked up with everything to your car. Before you go out, you say, hey, where do you want to go? You put in your computer, hey, who knows, hey, your car will already synchronize it. Yeah. That's one thing, in the future. It's just like so radical. Okay, we'll come back here. So since we get everything fixed, just tell you something on the story. That's it. Okay. So this part. Okay. So wiring for advisory. Okay, this one we go through. Okay. So those are what we have to accordingly to buyer seller advice. Those are because those are the point we are actually protecting us. One, obtain the phone number of an escrow officer at the beginning of a transaction. What did I tell you? Because later on you need to call. Two, do not ever wire fund prior to calling your escrow officer to confirm wiring instruction. Only use a phone number you were provided previously. Do not use any different phone number included in the email wire transfer instruction. Okay? So that's why even I know if somebody really smart enough, I can even fake the phone number too if I need to. Okay? If I'm still in the computer field, who knows what I might become? Professional hacker. Orally confirm the wire transfer instruction is legitimate and confirm the bank routing number, account numbers, and other codes before taking step to transfer the fund. So you make sure you can always, have the bank call to or verify um, the uh, the the receiving party. So that's a trust account or escrow account. See if that account is legitimate. Everything on that. 4, avoid sending personal information in email or text. Provide such information in person or over the telephone directly to the escrow officer. I don't think we should smart enough. We don't text or email or do whatever the account username and password over what? Text, email, whatever. Or otherwise, periodically, why Apple or any your email account once in a while, why you need to have to change your account number, the password, even what our matrix MLS. How many times? Wow, once in a year now we have to change the password, our MLS system, because technically our MLS system cannot be shared. If sharing with some other agent or especially your client, well, unless you want to get a fine. Because how can they find out? How can they find out? The way they can track your location. If you sign in the Hacienda High office and your client's in Rowan High, oh, wait a minute. How come the account simultaneously sign in and out in two different cities? Especially if I'm in Korea or in Taiwan or somewhere. And how come somebody sign in here? If they sign in simultaneously, good luck. They may track you. Well, I still put it this way. I still playing Pokemon. The okay. I'm still a kid. All right, big kid. You know what program they have now when they update it? They will calculate. You know, the game is so smart. They can even calculate the time when you fly to other country before you can sign on. Otherwise, they say, can you give because you can give your friend, you know, if they live in a different country, you know, I want to catch a different, you know, animal. Okay, you just give them the email and password, right? Used to be. Then you can catch a different. Okay, so now we gotta have to do. If you really want to tell your friend, you have to wait 1 day because that's the time you fly over. They can track. If the game can track, do you think Matrix, MLS, can they track our location? Absolutely. You could still sign in your iPad, your iPhone, okay? But just like they would use an algorithm and calculate, you know, your location, tracker, everything, and see if it's a legitimate. Because if you share your MLS username and password, if they got caught, you get fined. Not cheap. Last time I think it's $5,000, and they close your account. Oh man, without MLS, what do we do? Right? Okay. So that's why try not to, you know, pass around the personal information, you know, through the text or the email. 5, take steps to secure the system you are using with your email account. This step include creating a strong password, using the secure Wi-Fi, and not using a free service. I know we love to use the free services. You know, you go to airport, you go to the free services. You go to everywhere. Starbucks, I get a free services. If I want to hack someone's phone, can I go to Starbucks? Yeah. If I want to hack the information, yeah. Especially Starbucks. You know, who would like to stop there to drinking coffee? CHP, Highway Patrol. If I really want to hack to their computer system, I didn't say that. Did you notice that the Highway Patrol, they having a coffee in Starbucks? And how about no, they pay. They pay. I did sell them the pay. Certainly they pay. But where the sheriff or the local police, where they go? A donut shop. They won't mix together. Believe if you every time you look at it, they won't mix. Okay, it's a different class. CHP, they will think, because we are the Highway Patrol. We have to be a college graduate before I can become a Highway Patrol. Okay? And your sheriff department and LAPD, the high school graduate, there you go. Hey, different class. So that's why we drinking coffee at Starbucks. Well, you guys go to donut shop, 7-Eleven. Okay. Don't come to Starbucks. Every time, when I see that, I say, it is. Later on, if you know that. That's why every time I go out, I see a different scenery. It's fun. So mainly, you have to, warning on the buyer, especially buyer, for this 5 points. So tell them to be cautious though. If you believe you have receiving the questionable or suspicious instruction, immediately notify your bank and the escrow holder and your real estate agent. The source below as well as other can also provide information. So Federal Bureau, here, FBI, they are constantly monitoring. Okay, and same thing for the National Color Crime Center or the Angar line. Because when you let them sign it, I did tell you. Don't tell me you don't know what you sign. I don't understand English. I don't care. You have your own translator. Any question on this one? This is a new form. Just happened about half a year ago. added in. Used to be we just talk about it. We have this form, we talk about it, but now it's a requirement. When we're signing, you know, for that's why they put into the purchase agreement package. Used to be we call purchase agreement. Oh, agent may forget agency disclosure, or used to be we have WPA. That's mean the wood pass, and that's, you know, for the termite addendum. That is retired. Okay, that is something I'm going to mention later on. Okay, don't wait until wait for request for repair. So when you see my purchase agreement, I will add it into the purchase agreement. Okay. So we have no question, right? All right. We get into the purchase agreement now. This, you know, was the most fun thing. One, pretty straightforward. You got to put a date. Well, what day we should put? The day you prepare the offer. It's okay. Even you prepare the offer, it could be like a week ago. Yeah, it's okay. But usually I would, you know, I put the same day when buyer want to sign. Even I know I probably prepared a week ago. I will change the date. One, certainly. Remember, you have to put in all the buyer's name properly. Legal name. Make sure those are their legal name. Because some of the Chinese, they never get into the English name. It's not like, you know, my legal name is James. Okay? Because I put in, when I citizenship, I put in adding the legal name as James when I get a green card, same thing. But some of them, they don't. You gotta have to put in their legal name, not just their English name. That is not gonna match. Because whatever you put in the purchase agreement, and because escrow officer, escrow company, they will base on what you put and record it. For example, if they did not finance, and there's no way that you can verify their legal name, legal status, isn't it? Foreigner, especially foreigner. They pay all cash. You don't even check on their passport name. If you record a name wrong, when they want to sell the house, uh-oh. How did I prove it? I am the homeowner. Because we don't have what? It's not like in Asia, we don't have a certificate of property. 所有权状，对不对? In Asia, you do it. Oh, when you own the property, you have, like our vehicle. We have, once you pay off, what do you got? Pink slip. The certificate of ownership. We don't have that. If you're recording the name wrong, be careful. As a buyer's agent, double check, triple check. Make sure it's a legal name. If you could, check on their ID. Check on buyer's passport. If the buyer asks you, why you are so nosy? I said, well, because I'm helping you. If you record it wrong, later on when you want to sell it, how can I prove it? Yeah. Correct it right away. Because sometimes it's a human error. Could be escrow officer type it wrong. Could be county person type it wrong. Could be title.
Yeah, so for right now, I check for my client the title already, the spelling is wrong. So
Call the escrow officer, tell them correct it right away. Because you just close the escrow.
if the case, the transaction already closed.
That's okay. Tell them to correct it. They have a form to correct.
So just find the escrow company?
Yes. Tell the escrow company right away. If they do have a spelling wrong, or they mix up with the middle name, first name, whatever the name may be.
So how about the owner just call the county, treat the correct
County, they don't care. How can you prove the owner's owner? You tell me, right?
Just the driver license.
No, driver license. Oh, no, hey, how many John Smith in the country? Oh boy. See, you cannot prove it. The only thing can help you to correct it is escrow officer and title insurance company. Yes.
So the escrow just to find any escrow
No, no, no. Has to be the same the escrow you just closed because they have a document. They have to find out who made the mistake. If the escrow officer, their document is correct, then obviously it's a title insurance company make a mistake or county personnel make a mistake. Then you can still have original document and escrow officer to to revise or to correct it. Put it this way, to correct it, the name, because your document is correct, but your document is based on the name you put it on the purchase agreement. If you put it wrong to begin with, everything is wrong, isn't it? Be careful. That's why. Our job technically is not allow us to making any mistakes because the mistake will cost you maybe your time, your money, your freedom. Oh, reputation, that's obviously. When I say freedom, you put into jail. Do you know when the financial crisis of 2007, some of the people I know, they put in the jail. Oh yeah, for they are fraudulent uh, to purchase a property and cheating on the out-of-state bank. You know, they are actually fraudulent between listing a buyer's agent, listing agent, seller, buyers. It's a people probably sorry, you know, they have a social security number, but they're in foreign country, could be in China, in Taiwan, or Hong Kong. They don't even know somebody using their social security number, buying the property and financing. Because it used to be so easy to finance, right? No, they don't have to check it. And you can find what's the maximum I can finance? 125% of appraisal value. That's a good old day. That's how we get a financial crisis. 125% appraisal value. Come on. Not just 100% financing. It's 125% financing. Then they have to not only they have to bribe how many people, right? Appraiser too. So everybody get in the jail from you know, not just fine. You it's a felony, federal felony. You're cheating the bank, and that's a federal felony. Okay? So it's not really allow us to make a mistake. That's technically that's our job is. All right, Shirley, make sure you put the address correctly. If you look at the address through the MLS, do you think I will copy this through the MLS? Did you ever check on the title before you submit the offer? Did you ever check on the title? Or actually, I tell you what's my experience. Before I going out to show the property, I check the title. Why? Not just when I submit the offer. Oh, that costs a lot of time. It is. When I do my preparation, a lot of people say, showing house is easy. It is. Just open the door. Oh, I know. Just open the door. I showed the property this morning. I just opened the door. It is vacant property. But before that, what did I do last night? I checked the property. I double checked with the title. Why? I want to make sure the information is correct. Square footage, bedroom, year, at least. Those are the minimum. I will check on it. I didn't tell you to check on the whole thing, but I will go through with you how do you read the title, through the real list. If you look at the MLS, we can always check on, go through the real list and click on the text information, text assistant information, and they will jump to the other page. That's for the title. At least check on the square footage, bedroom, and sometimes the lot size. Because unfortunately, I don't believe in listing agent. Nobody. as a human being, we will make a mistake. When I put out my own listing, not only I double check, triple check before I upload it. But when I receiving, if I'm the listing agent, when I receiving the purchase agreement from the buyer's agent, I double check all the filled in information. Some of them are unusual, some of them have to be noticed. I highlight it. I print it out. I still, it's old school. I still print it out, highlight it, make sure I don't miss it. For example, you don't really have to highlight it on the city, county, or the parcel number. Price. How many days of escrow? Those are when you go over the offer with the seller. Well, that's important, isn't it? Price and the days. Those are considered terms. So you fill in as much as you can. I know a lot of people get lazy just missing about a parcel number too. And make sure the parcel number, don't believe the listing agent that put the right parcel number, because sometimes they may put the wrong parcel number. When you click the parcel number on the MLS, you check on the title. How come it's different address? It happened to me before. So how can I trust the listing agent? That's why I double check, the parcel number. I don't want my contract making mistake, because that's my reputation. I know some of the agents, they say, oh boy, when James' contract here, it's clean. But on the other hand, they have to be careful what any traps for me, because I'm well known on the purchase agreement or the contract. Listing agent, if they receive my offer, oh boy, I have to double check, triple check. Make sure I don't miss anything, because But also, if you guys follow on the style, the way I put it, I know the previous trainee, they always get the compliment by listing agent. You only been on the field for half a year. How can you make those contracts so clear? No confusion. They even ask who's your instructor or mentor. That's why I said, oh yeah, you get a compliment on that if if you really starting on the way what I put it together. Okay, so the just want to tell you, the escrow, when the close of escrow, you can put, if you want to mark, check here. That means you have to fill in exactly the date you want to close. It's okay. Sometimes the seller require, I have to close on certain date. Could be a tax issue reason, or why? Because that particular day, it's 2 years, exactly 2 years. So they don't have to pay the capital gain, right? Sometimes when they bought a house recently, and if you stay there for 2 years out of 5, so they have the capital gain exemption, but they have to close that particular day, not sooner. Or you can be later, but not sooner. So there has to be that particular day. Or then maybe they will have to tell you whatever the day. You put a 30-day, they may counter you. Oh, I need longer than that. I need 45 days sometimes. Okay, that may happen. But I heard the new law. Is that law passed already? No, you have to be 5 years out of 8. Not yet, huh? Okay. I know they are proposing already. 2 out of 5, that's still, it's now. But that's why sometimes you gotta help me out. If you guys heard something, fill me in. I don't mind to learn. Okay, let me know the information if I don't know. I'm still a human being. So they propose later on. They propose like 5 years out of 8 for owner occupied tax exemption. So they will stop the people. Oh, every 2 years I'm flipping the house, so you can get the capital gain. Okay, so we just want to make it clear, see if you guys know. Um, what's the how much are they when they're financing? The maximum financing amount for you can still write off for the interest. Used to be $1 million. I'll give you the hint already. Used to be if you finance $1 million or less, you can write off the interest. What's the new law? Well, we got another new tax law.
750.
That's right, 750. I know when they propose is 500,000. That's too low. Come on. But when the law passed, it's a $750,000. So the loan amount, if anything below $750,000, you can still get a tax write-off for the interest. But anything above that, if you finance more than $750,000 for those, doesn't have to be, the luxury home. I mean, now the $1 million is not considered luxury anymore. But anyway, anything financed above $750,000, you cannot write off the mortgage interest. Just for your information. Right? So those are why I'm telling that, because sometimes when we educate our buyer, that's show you your expertise, your profession, show you're sharp. You know what you are doing and what you are talking. Okay, instead of just open the door. I don't want you to be I don't want to badmouth about a Redfin agent, but that's pretty much open the door agent. Well, they do have different class of an agent. There's some of people are just open the door agent. Some of agent is submit the offer agent. Some of agent is like go over the disclosure agent. They all you deal with all different agents. Yeah. And another thing is that how about property tax? What's the limit? Anything above $1 million, you cannot write off your property tax. So they think you are wealthy. You can afford a $1 million house. Why you so care about write off the property tax every year? That's a new Trump tax rate, tax law. Certainly, I don't want to go through the detail those income tax. It's not my job. Those are CPAs. Even we like to learn, but we are not licensed to talk about those. So when some buyer asks you, "Oh, what's the other income tax law?" I don't know. Even I know, I won't tell you. Because I didn't carry the accountant license. I'm sorry. All I carry is a real estate license. And buyer and seller are referred to here as the parties. Brokers are not parties in this agreement. So buyer and seller, they consider as a parties to agency. So that's why I tell you, before you starting with the purchase agreement, first thing you got to do is disclosure. The parties each acknowledge receipt of a disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship. That's why I tell you, before you're starting anything, you got to have them sign the agency disclosure. So you are legally representing them 5 minutes ago or a couple minutes ago, legally. B, confirmation. So those are the part, listing agent and selling agent. Clearly, you can see this. And what I use this purchase agreement to show you is because if it's under, what do you see here? All Remax 2000. And that's not, even it's two different agents. You still consider both buyer and seller representing. The agent of, you gotta have to check here. If under the same company, it's considered dual agency. It doesn't matter who's the listing agent, who's the buyer's agent. All right, remember that. But if the Remax Premier, Remax Elite, that's okay. Oh, that is a two different company, because two different names. But it's two Remax 2000. It has to be both buyer and seller. Clear? And C, potentially competing buyer and seller. That's why we signing that form. The party each acknowledge receipt of the possible representation more than one buyer and seller disclosure and consent. So those are the form we signed it before from agency disclosure, more than one buyer and seller, wiring fraud. Those three forms, when you sign it, man, purchase agreement. That's why the sequence they want us to do now. Number 3, financing term. Buyer representing the fund will be good when deposit with the escrow holder. What is considered good fund? When I give you the personal check, is it considered good fund? No. The check can be bounced because I don't have money in the bank. So when I can write you any check, but that is not considered good fund. Okay. The fund has to be good fund. That means the money has to be in the bank. So the buyer direct deposit, buyer should deliver the deposit directly to escrow holder by electronically fund transfer. You can give an escrow cashier check or personal check or check or other. It could be because direct, when you deposit directly, that means electronic fund has to be wiring or whatever the fund. Don't tell them you want to give them cash. I long time ago when I worked on the auto industry, boy, people buying a car, grab me a supermarket, brown bag as cash. Boy, we have to count so hard. Okay, counting longer than signing the contract. Yeah.
So cash not allowed to give escrow to buy.
Well, legally you could, but believe me, escrow will not accept it. Escrow will say, get those money to buy me a cashier check. No, that's other, so you can be creative. Why? It could be from 1031 exchange company. If it's 1031 exchange, then it's not the cashier check, it's not the personal, or you can say wiring, okay? Or other is like you can say from 1031 exchange company or whatever the company may be. If that's a case.
And if the buyer so much money go to bank to buy cash check or something, and kind of they have different issue to occur now.
Okay.
Like money laundry.
Well, that's why. Okay, that's what getting to the issue. If you don't have an account in the bank, you are not allowed to deposit the check. I mean, you are not allowed to deposit the cash into the account by third party, not even $1. Say, for example, if you don't have a bank account in Chase, well, Chase, I don't care. You're not my client. Why should I have to issue the cashier check? Okay. Or you have a bank account in Chase. I deposit $1 to you. Chase said, no, I cannot accept $1 because I don't have a Chase account. Bank they have their own rule. You gotta be has account. Minimum, you gotta have account in the same bank or at least a power of attorney. Company check is fine. You mean company escrow company check?
I mean for the
Electronic fund, some of the escrow, it depends. If you're buying using the name as a company, okay, they'll take it. No, it has to be the same one. Usually, they could accept other personal check by third party. Then you will have third party. Those are really depend on the escrow. Some of the escrow may accept a company check, company wiring. I cannot say company check, company wiring from say they wire the initial deposit, say like $20,000 into the escrow. Some of escrow they will accept the company from company to personal. Some of the escrow they won't.
If the buyer is the owner of the company,
then you better prove it. You better prove it. So you may have an article issue. You have to bring in an article. I'm the owner of this company. And you ask the escrow first, can I wire from my company account to escrow? You gotta have to ask them first. You have 3 days. That's why here. Within 3 business days after acceptance, you have to bring in the money. Yes.
for the contract, the name is for example is for the daughter or the son name,
Mhm.
but the bank statement should be the parent's name, so that the parent can go direct to where the deposit of the money to the escrow.
Yes, you could, but the escrow will have the parents signing. This is a third party fund into the escrow.
So
They,
just have the escrow form.
yeah, the escrow will issue the form
Oh,
to let the parents sign. Just like when you're financing, if it's owner occupied, they will allow the gift fund. So the buyer must have a minimum 5%. Some of a bank 10% minimum fund. Say for example, if you're buying a $500,000 a property, you gotta have minimum $25,000 or $50,000 if it's you financing down payment. That has to be coming out a buyer's fund, not parents fund. Well, because I put say like 50% down or 50%, that's $250,000. Well, the other $200,000 coming out from my parents. Okay, that's a gift fund.
how about the cash? How about
You talk about cash, cash.
I mean, it's not a.
Oh, you paying all cash?
Yeah.
Paying all cash. Yes, you could, but same thing. Escrow will issue a form and let the parents sign. Okay, this is a gift fund. Yeah, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. It really depends on the escrow. Because why? They want to protect them when they get audited. Did you know our case, every transaction, we get audited by, now it's back to what, DRE now. Used to be BRE, now the Department of Real Estate. I think they changed back the name again. Every transaction, we will get audited. And that's why our company is really tight with all the paperwork. If you're missing, you don't get paid. Why? Because when they get audited, that's become an error. We want to keep our reputation for the company, 0 error. We try to minimize the lawsuit too, so you don't pay a higher E&O insurance. You know, some company, their E&O insurance is pretty high. Why? Because they get lawsuit often. That's how that happened. Okay, so the 2. If the buyer deposit with the agent, buyer has given the deposit by the personal check to or to the agent submitted to the offer to, that's basically the or made payable to, used to be, that's what we did, escrow company. The deposit should be held on cash until acceptance and then deposit with the escrow holder with 3 business days after acceptance. Deposit check given to agent should be original signed check and not a copy. This is old school. All right. If you mark number 2, used to be when I start practicing the real estate, we don't have a number 1. Okay, we don't have this number 1 part. We always have this. You want to submit an offer? Once you received, when you finish signing the purchase agreement, show me your initial deposit. Then who the check payable to? Remax 2000. Because you don't know which escrow yet, right? Then our broker Quang and will endorse, then forward to the escrow company. So it's become a third-party check. Used to be escrow would accept that. I don't think any escrow still accepting that. Once they want to minimize the fraudulent on that or the bounce check. So, but did you ever meet uh, listing agent still want a copy of your initial deposit check when you submit the offer? Very rarely, but yes, some of the old school listing agent, they still want to see the copy of an initial deposit check, just like they want to meet you. They don't know how to do the DocuSign. They don't believe in the fax. They just want to deliver the actual wet ink purchase agreement. Okay, so, and those are the agents. They maybe still want. I want to see the copy of initial deposit. So even some of our buyers still asking you, oh, how much do I have to write the check? I say, no, you don't have to write me any check right now. First of all, you don't pay me. I do appreciate that. You want to pay me extra? Thank you so much. Okay, but seller will pay me. All right. But if as a buyer, if you don't hire your own agent, you want to go through your listing agent. First of all, that's an interest conflict to the listing agent. They will definitely will not stand on your side. That's for 100% for sure. Second of all, you don't have to pay the buyer's agent. Why you don't hire your own attorney, real estate attorney, right? Pretty much like that. Why you don't hire your own buyer's agent? You don't pay them anyway. I said, well, I can get a better deal to talk to a listing agent. Well, yeah, maybe not. But most likely, you might be losing bigger because listing agent will take both. Why? Just like this transaction, I got both. Yeah. Listing agent not even cut my commission either. Okay? I'm proud to announce I got fully 6% on this deal. Yes. Plus a red envelope from buyer. Do you think we give the kickback to the buyer's agent or to the buyer? No. I even get a cash red envelope. Say thanks from buyer. Yeah. Just like you go to surgery, in Asia, you see doctor. Now they can now receive the red envelope, right? Now they still, but they can still receive some kinds of gift, chocolate, cookies, whatever, maybe, right? Okay, but used to be, right? When you see doctor, when you go surgery, you have to give it some cash, right? Okay. Why not? I'm proud to be real estate broker. Do you have those gut to say that? What do you do for a living? I'm real estate broker or real estate agent. So what? Because lots of people like to talk about real estate. And you should be proud you're on this field. Doesn't matter good time or bad time, we always making money. And the good thing is we go by the percentage, right? So if you take the salary job, you have to watch the boss to raise your salary. No. We are your own boss. You work harder, you get more transaction, you pay more. That's why over 30 years of the practice on the sales from auto industry to real estate. Technically, I never have the salary job. I always get a commission pay. Yeah. Yeah. I work harder, I make more. Yeah. Even I was major in engineer before, double E in college. But after I found out I cannot make much money as an engineer. But I said, oh no, that's not a good job. I even switched to study for pre-med, being a doctor. Oh boy, that's a high intensive labor. Oh no. Before I come out, I have a lot of debt because I'm not coming out from wealthy family. My dad said, "You gotta have to get your own loan." Oh boy, most of a doctor they all have a loan, student loan, right? Yeah. So, end up, I'm here, sales. So what? I'm proud to be a sales. And who's the number one sales in America? President. You gotta believe, United States it's a sales country. Number one sales is the president. Every time he go out, he sells something, right? Especially when you see Trump, he sells a lot, way more than other, president before. They sell a lot. Not only they tell the company to invest in the United States, they tell the American first. I know a lot of countries they don't like it, but I have to admit it brings a lot of job opportunity, lower the employment rate. Okay, but I mean certainly he sell a lot. Do you know half of a military weapon, more than half of a military weapon is sold by the United States worldwide? You see those news, right? Yeah. Then who's the number one sales? Presidents. Yeah. All right. B. If those are the issue a little bit rarely. Oh, by the way, here the note: initial and increased deposit check received by the agent should be recorded in broker trust fund log. Say if you receive it like used to be, when I received the buyer's check, I have to record it into the company trust log. So I received this check, and you keep it with you on cash. Okay. But unfortunately, sometimes when the deal fell through or whatever the reason may be, I forgot. I still have a old check, 15 years old check, client's buyer's check with the file. If I really dig out the file one time, I look at it. Oh, I forgot to return to them. Even I know that check doesn't mean anything. All right, but I forgot to return to them. Sometimes some of a brokerage they keep it, but used to be as a Remax 2000, we keep it. Kwong doesn't want it. He said, that's not my responsibility. You lose a check, you talk to your buyer to stop the check, stop payment. Okay, you got to know that. So used to be I keep so many personal check when you start submitting offer. If you didn't get this property, you keep the same check and send it to the copy. Do you know when but that's why used to be we play a lot of a gray area. This is something right here. Deposit check given to the agent should be the original check, not a copy, because I'm playing it before I using the copy of a check and just tell the people to sign it. But when you fax it over, can the listing agent see that's original or copy? You can't. Used to be doesn't have a scanner, right? When you fax over, can I even see it? Even you have a scanner. Oh yeah, you can see it. Oh, this is not the color one. It gotta be the copy. Well, who knows? But if I can make a color copier, then you sign it, and it's not the original check. When you scan it to the listing agent, oh yeah, let's look at the legitimate. Yeah, right. So that's why. Used to be, I guess I be creative in personality. I don't like to stay in traditional within the frame of a law. Sometimes I can be creative outside of a frame, do the thinking. That's how we played before. When you submitted a short sale, long time ago. Every time did you tell the buyer, give me a personal check, give me a personal check? It's like they get tired, right? Then you want to serve them better. That's okay. Some of a buyer they're so cheap. I don't want to waste a check. Oh, I don't know how much it costs a piece of check. Okay, yeah, a paper. Okay, fine. I'll make a copy. So you sign it on the copy every time. Okay. Some of there go say, I'll sign it every time you make a copy. So what's the bid offer? So I did that before. So not anymore. Not anymore. Because a lot of game, we played before, they all thought about it. Down in the when I'm starting with the purchase agreement, you'll see how many gray area I've been practiced before. Hacker. Increased deposit. This is really we have this issue, but it may happen if you really competing with so many offers. That's something you may consider. Increased deposit, or somebody they are so poor they cannot even put initial deposit to begin with. When it's a really bad time, we do see the offer. They probably only a couple $100 on initial deposit, and they will increase the deposit after 1 week later. Why? I won't get paid until a week later, so I'll give you another couple $1,000 initial deposit. Especially when we have, you guys probably hardly deal with. You heard about FHA loan, right? Okay. When the FHA loan really popular, put it this way, long time ago, when the real estate market crashed, that's 2008, 2009, we got a lot of FHA loan. And those people, they don't have money. Can they get financing? Yeah. We even have to ask the closing cost from seller. They don't even have money to close. Then what do we end up with? It's more like 100% plus 3% financing, 103% financing. Yeah, that's how we deal with FHA loan before. FHA loan, they say minimum 3.5%. Then the maximum I ever deal is 6.5% closing cost, help by the seller. Why? Because seller helping the buyer paying 3.5% down payment and up to 3% closing cost. Buyer just don't have money at all, but they do make good money. I can afford the payment, but I just don't have saving. Those are what we call 那种月光族, right? Okay, every month you spend all your money. You have no saving in your bank. All right. Those are, we deal that before, the FHA loan. If you see the FHA loan right now, what the seller say, put it away. Yeah. They don't want to deal with FHA loan, most likely, unless you want to go Riverside City, maybe. They can still deal with the FHA loan or back credit people or whatever, because FHA loan not exactly the credit driven. They can get as low as 550, well, minimum 550, I think, right? Or 600. I know the VA loan is 550. VA loan, that's a minimum credit score, 550. Anything below 550, I forget it. Not even VA loan. FHA loan, I think either 550 or maybe they already increased to 600. Your FICO score, the credit score, it has to be 600 before you can apply for VA for FHA loan. But regular conventional loan, forget it. You cannot even get a conventional loan because first of all, you don't have a down payment. Your credit score is so bad. Even you're making good money, so what? Right? Okay. But those are the issues, when we using this as an increased deposit, or sometimes when you compete it so hard, you put 3% over there, and I want to show my sincere, really want this property. I put another 3% or 5% increased deposit once you open escrow with me. I'll give you another more money. So you make seller feel more secure. You want to buy the property. Just like you remove, for example, appraisal contingency, when we got so competing right now, or over asking price. Listing agent may tell you to remove the appraisal contingency. And if you are bold enough, you can even, if your buyer can even buy cash, they have enough money. If they cannot get financing, they can pay cash. You can even encourage them to remove what? Loan contingency. That's the ultimate goal. That's pretty much like paying all cash. When you remove loan contingency, that's, like that. But I'll tell you, used to be, how do I play with the gray area? When I replace a appraisal contingency, used to be appraisal and loan, they did not separate it. They put it together. And I played that. I tell them, oh, we will remove the appraisal contingency. But the loan contingency, I make a little check mark until get funded. Loan contingency until I get funded. How many days of that? Wow. But you know what? Listing agent miss it. When they miss it, oh. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't get financing. Oh, I have to fulfill your deposit. No, you cannot. Why? Because I marked the one as the little, used to be have little check mark. The loan contingency, we keep the loan contingency until funded. And the listing agent missed my little check mark. They have to return our initial deposit after 30 days later. not anymore though. Doesn't have that, they removed that statement already. So, a lot of things, the gray area we played before. And it used to be, we remove appraisal contingency, they will use a loan contingency. Hey, because appraisal didn't appraise that amount of money, so we don't have enough down payment to close an escrow. So loan doesn't go through. Not anymore. Now they separated appraisal and loan. I cannot play anymore. But that's okay. I'll think about something else. Yeah. So that's why, some of listing agents say, when I submit the purchase agreement, they gotta look at so many times. Make sure I don't have any trap. So those are increased deposit. Okay, buyer should, deposit into the escrow holder an increased deposit in the amount of within whatever the day, 7 day, 10 day, after acceptance. All right. And if the party agreed to liquidate the damage in the agreement, they also agreed to incorporate the increased deposit into the liquidation damage amount in the separate liquidation damage clause. You gotta have to submit the CAR RID at the time of the increased deposit is delivered to escrow holder. Why I'm saying that is usually what's the maximum term if it's owner occupied? What's our liquidation damage? 3%. Seller can only acquire 3%, maximum 3% from the buyer. But this is only applied for our purchase agreement. If you talk about a brand new builder, no, ain't got no limit. If you talk about an investor, no, ain't got no limit. It's only owner occupied. But if you really want to increase the initial deposit and put into the liquidation damage, that means it's more than 3%, then you got to submit this form, the RID. Okay? And what a situation may happen like that. For example, did you ever see the online auction or the auction in front of a house? What's their initial deposit? Did you know that? Did you ever know that? Auction.
15%.
No. That's too high. But 10%. 10%. 10%. But 10%, that's more than 3% already, right? On the regular, purchase agreement. So that means you already increased. But if you fill through the escrow, they took all the 10% away. Not 3%, even it's owner occupied, because it's auction. They have their own form. They will let you decide, similar like RID. They will take all your initial deposit to compensate them. Why? Because that 10% not only paying the auctioneer, and also paying the buyer's agent and list. They may have a listing agent, sometimes they may not, but that 10% is compensate everybody. Hardly we see the auction now. Used to be property auction is I attend a couple times to like convention center. You know how many people are if they have to host it a convention center. I get a closer one. I didn't really go to LA, but it's Pomona, you know, on those Pomona Fairplex as a property auction. Thousands of people in the hall. Boy, 200 property for auction. You think that's a lot? Hey, thousands of people for 200 properties only. Every property, 5 minutes. And who paid that 10% fee? Buyer. Okay? A lot of people will forget because all the fee what we got right now in a regular transaction is the seller pay for the fee, right? Commission, everything, okay? Mainly commission, seller pay. When it's auction, buyer pay. You have to warn your buyer if it's auction. What is the latest auction? What you see? I know probably a lot of people may call you. I think I have one property. What's that address? 1414. Well, that one, I you know that is it 1414 Farmstead or something? Yeah, but anyway, that is auction because people will say, "Boy, 2,000 square footage house starting at 299." Yeah, well, 299, not exactly 299, but it's $299,000 for 2,000 square footage house in Hacienda High. You wish. That's an auction. Starting on the 50% off. Right? Yeah. Just like, you know, LA County or Sheriff Department, Police Department, they all have the auction for confiscated, if like, you know, from drug dealer, you know, their car, their vehicle, their house, their, you know, precious jewelry. Once a year or twice a year. Same thing. It's auction. So those are, you know, for you, you know, you may, you know, gotta be aware of that. C, all cash offer. No loan is needed to purchase the property. This offer is not contingent on buyers obtain a loan. Written verification sufficient fund to close this transaction is attached to this offer. So that means when you submit the all cash offer, you better have the money to show the seller. All right? Don't BS around. But especially when you see those bank statements from China, be careful. Listing agent there, no. Oh no. Oh no. Because some of listing agent, they still been now they don't have to be in China. Do you know what's the newest scam from Europe? You see United Kingdom. Huh? You see Australia. Huh? Yeah, that's a new scam. Sometimes the Facebook, you know, the messenger, some people will tell you, oh, you know, I'm representing which company, I have money, you know, blah, 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 I have a seller, or I have a buyer, and they pay all cash, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And Facebook, you know, they just later on say, how come this guy is gone? I got to close account. It's a spam. It's a scammer. Because I just talked to one of a listing agent. I say, boy, somebody, you know, from United Kingdom, they say they want to pay all cash. But it's been 2 weeks. We never receive any money, not even initial deposit. But escrow is still open. What do? Seller have to cancel the buyer, right? And the buyer's agent disappear. Well, it's tough. The buyer didn't sign the cancellation. And the buyer's agent disappear. Technically, it's no escrow. But some of the escrow, they are so scared about buyer didn't sign anything. Huh? Yeah. And that's from United Kingdom. Even Facebook, people want me to, join me, as a friend, and sometimes, they're from the Middle East, here and there, because they're the messenger. They want a relationship with you, or they want the money from you, whatever. They want to sell you something. Yeah, we see that. So unfriend and block her or him. Yeah, or somewhere in between. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know he or she, right? Yeah. So all cash offer, you better show them the money. And as a buyer's agent, you need to also kind of verify where those funds coming from. It is legitimate, and as possible it can be wired. Because not only in China have a limitation on the wiring now. Where else? Hong Kong. Starting this year, Hong Kong has trouble now. They also have a limitation on wiring. That's what I heard. Maybe, I don't know if my information is correct or not, but that's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know about Hong Kong, but certainly the China, they still keep a $50,000 per year, but also give a limitation to every branch of a bank. You can only wire a US dollar, $20,000 each day. How many people in the bank? You can only wire total $20,000 each day. So that's tough, right? Okay. And not only that, you have to write a reason. If you say, I want to wire the money to buy the property in the United States, forget it. You won't go through. All right? Yeah. So, especially all cash buyer, be careful. Sometimes the all cash buyer, you think, oh boy, I got a cash buyer. Lovely. But another thing is that the cash buyer also is easy to cancel. Because they think they pay all cash. I can get anything, anyone, anything I want. If I find something better, I may just cancel the current escrow. So as a listing agent, when you see the cash offer, don't get too excited either. Because if you look at it, the cash buyer, they have the higher cancellation ratio. Because they didn't really spend the money anyway. If you talk about the finance people, they have to go through pre-qualify, inspection, appraisal. They're already spending money already. Yeah. Okay, and if they really don't have the proof of fund show you while you have them sign this offer, you better check that. Buyer should, within 3 or how many days after acceptance, deliver to seller such verification. Then it's up to the seller, are they going to accept your offer or not? Sometimes seller rather accept the finance offer instead of cash offer. When the finance offer, you got pre-qualified later, I got verification of fund here, they feel more secure than if you got nothing, all cash buyer. You just offer without showing the money. And especially most of a cash buyer, they think they're a hot shot, right? They want a huge discount. Bye. I have a cash buyer before. I lose to the finance offer by how much? $3,000. $3,000. Seller choosing the finance instead of cash. I told my buyer, say $3,000, please put it up, at least match. They will sell it to us. No, I definitely want to get discount. No way, no way. Well, and I even chip in a little from my commission, $1,500. So actually, I lost the deal by $1,500 to the finance. Well, so do not think cash buyer is a hot shot. Okay. If cash buyer, every time they want to get a discount, you tell them to say, you're in the wrong place in the wrong market. You could get a discount, but why don't you show up 10 years ago? Right? When the market is down, why don't you show up in front of me 10 years ago? Yeah. You show up now? I'm sorry. What market is now? We all know. Seller's market. So that's why I encourage you to take a look at the hot sheet every day and see, if you gotta have to familiar with your own territory. How many houses on the market? That is how sometimes you kind of scared. I mean, we could bluffing, we could scare your client, but we cannot never lie to your clients. Got it? That's what I can scare my client. I can bluff it. Okay. You tell them and say, hey, how many property in Hacienda High? How many property in Roland High? How many property in Diamond Bar? Are you going to jump in the market now or not? So that's a simple supply and demand issue. That's why I'm telling you, when you look at, that's how I look at the whole world right now. Who has the most economy growth right now? You think China? Well, yeah, technically. But who is more stable? United States, definitely. Another thing is, 0 minutes, US expire. No, don't close it. Okay, good. Weather. That's why, weather. Weather is also important. Did you guys notice that? East Coast. That's what I mentioned. Southern California weather is more than $1 million already. And our housing market is still cheap. Huh? What are you talking about? Our market is still cheap, yeah, compared to San Francisco area and New York. I didn't say compared to other area. What's our median price here? Did you guys know that? Median price. LA area.
55.
Yeah, 550, not 55. Well, I know you use the Chinese. Well, I know 55. We gotta have to use English. $550,000, more or less. That's a median price, according to the NAR. And what's the median price for San Francisco area, Bay Area? No. $1.35 million. 1.35. That's a median price. So you talk about $1 million luxury house. No, over there, yeah, $1 million condo. Yeah, $1.35 million. That's a median price. You can check on the NAR or CAR. Those information's there. What do you think in New York? Yeah. So when somebody tell you dollar per square footage, yes, I know you can use that to compare. A lot of buyers love to compare dollar per square footage. But would you buy it if the floor plan is not good, first of all? Would you buy it if it's a 3-story townhouse? Well, sometimes so. Did you ever see the 3-story brand new house? Yeah. Or what year they built? How big is the lot? Those will affecting a dollar per square footage. So those number is not accurate. I know a lot of a buyer and a lot of people were telling you, look at dollar per square footage. You should know your market. Yes, I know. But personally, I don't think that's accurate. Because location. If right next to the street, corner house, T junction, those are definitely cheaper, right? Or condition, lot size, everything. It could be affecting dollar per square footage. And gotta remember that 1-story house, it costs more than 2 or 3-story house or property or condo. Because mainly you have to look at how big is a lot am I occupying, isn't it? Yeah. House is like a car. It will depreciate. What is will appreciate? Land. That's why typical Chinese, they like to buy vacant land. Go ahead. I don't recommend. United States about as big as like China. What's the population here? Come on, those are you have to talk to the buyers. How do you persuade your buyers? It's about 300 million. Not quite. 300 million. Okay, 300 million people. What? How many people in China? Well, or at least about what? Yeah, 1.1 billion, 1.5 billion. 5 times more, right? 5 times more. What do we got most? Vacant land. You just drive to Vegas. What's a vacant land? Just drive to San Francisco. What's in Bakersfield area? Vacant land. Bunch of vacant land. If you think the vacant land is a good investment, not me. No, I won't invest in unless you are in the if you invest a vacant land in the city, yes, within the city. But those are very costly, very expensive, though. Yeah. But if you outside of you want to buy vacant land in Barstow, go ahead. Yeah, Apple Valley, go ahead. Yeah, or somewhere in between. Some of them they never sell. The county ask county, $1,000 for an acre? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, or less. You know, some of the county they even give you the free land if you build a house over there. But how about your sewering, your water? You got to use a well. I mean, you're gonna have to think about a lot consideration. Even you give me a vacant land for what? That's how Trump gather most the foreign company. They rebuild the not only job opportunity and the state given a free land as long as you build a factory over there. Why? So they can form a town. Yeah, that's how that happened. United States, they can be able to give you the free land. Just like when 20, 30 years ago in China, well, those the businessmen, when you go over there, they will give you the free lease land. Well, because all the land in China is owned by the country, okay, not individual. But they will give you free, how many years of lease, right? Same thing. Here, now, they're using the same, I'll give you the free land and also give you maybe 10 years free tax write-off. But you gotta have to create how many jobs or how much investment. Something those are, the state. Just like, do you know the Amazon? They're looking for another Amazon city, right? Yeah, I don't think LA County will qualify. No way. Huh? City of Pomona, but do they have enough land for Amazon? No, I don't think Pomona have enough land. Amazon, they need a huge area. Basically, they have to, when the Amazon, when they stay, they have to, looking for the huge, they create a town, just like the one in Seattle. Yeah. Hundreds of a town. They try to apply even Canada.
And like that, maybe if there's a level, maybe later the market will go up.
Well, unless you get something settled first. Okay? Just like how many times we heard that the Los Angeles International Airport gonna move to what's that area? Victorville? Yeah. 30 years ago. Yeah, they all have a rumor on that. Okay? But what happened? Those are victim. The landowner become a victim. It is though, because they still own the vacant land. But when you own a vacant land, you still need to pay what? Property tax. Do you think it's free? Not free. How many years property tax you have to pay? Oh, no way. And do you know the I don't know, did you guys watch it? When you go to LAX, they renovate it, right? How much they gotta spend extra? How much they renovate the whole airport? $1.8 billion. And you will see the new airport at 2019. The new look of the LAX. Well, those are not really in the not related in real estate, but what I'm telling you is because a lot of information is related to the real estate. Why the Los Angeles still is booming? That's what the whole thing I want to tell you. The LAX, they still spend about 1.8, 1.9 billion dollars to renovate the whole airport. Terminal 1, Terminal 2. Okay? And also what? Tom Bradley International Airport. They got to build another building. I don't know, do we have enough parking? That's one thing I'm worried about. I mean, every time you go to the airport, I have no place to park my car. Yeah, when somebody wanted to pick me up, I mean, because I travel a lot, I may go to the country 4 or 5 times a year. I always tell them, you don't need to stop the car if you can apply the parking space. I'll wait for you on the curve. Even, you wait on the curve. Sometimes you take about an hour to get in, right? The airport now, I got so familiar with it. I know all the small street, follow those limousine driver, taxi driver, where they get in, so I can, instead of the regular route, and everybody to get in that ramp, only 2 lane, you stay there for 1 hour before you can really get into the airport. And now they even want to expanding more. So that means it's going to be more flights. Well, definitely more traffic, that's for sure. Okay? More flights come over. That means job opportunity. The city has to be growing before they can spend those money. Okay? So that's why. Those are the news, you sometimes you just have to look at everything. Now, what's next booming town? Ontario, right? Ontario house still cheap. Well, you can get a 450,000. You spend $450,000, you can get a decent house, built in after probably 1980 something. 1,400 square footage house. Okay, as long as the north side of a 60, you don't get the smell. South side of 60, hey, no guarantee. All right, as close as Chino, Ontario, Chino, Eastville. That's a fresh country smell. Organic too. Well, the one I don't mind about the smell, but I really do mind when I showing the property in the summertime. It's flies. Did you ever notice that? Every time I show the property over there, when I close the door, I got 2 flies coming into my car. Yeah, because the thumbs, fly, they go together, right? Okay. So that's why, and more, I know the China airline, they got to fly starting at the end of from Taiwan and the Ontario airport. 3 flights a week. They're starting on 3 flights a week. And so do like the in China, I think it's the Southern, is it Southern something? 南方航空吧, I think they're going to fly to Ontario too. So they got more international flight over there. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's another booming area because you got Ontario. It's a really huge city. It's an industrial city technically. So you look at it, it's like where's the job go? Then opportunities there. I didn't really see much on Corona or Eastville there, but I know some people like there, but still like a lot of vacant land you can build. Yeah.
So if just a question for the investment. So the Ontario and the Chino, which city should be the better for the investment?
Well, put it this way, Chino is well known for the foreigner, just like Arcadia before, right? A lot of foreigners that like to buy Arcadia. What happened to Arcadia now? The price is dropping severely. Oh, anything? What? I over $2 million house. I didn't say it. Under $2 million still hot cake, but over $2 million is dropping severely. Yeah, because those are wealthy Chinese men. They have to flee away. What happened? Because our real estate ownership, the title striker is public. You can check on it. Who owned that property? And what happened in China right now? Yeah, they only catch about what, more than $50,000 government official, right, for the bribe people. Then where's their money come from? Here. Did you know that those um, Gong'an, okay, the policemen, they come over to United States to catch those people back. But United States, they are pretty smart. Okay, I'll let you catch the people, but money stay. Money stay here. They already brought it here. And money stay. You bring the people back, it's okay. I'll help you. But money has to stay. Property stay. Yeah. So those are, that's why, Arcadia is actually, dropping. It's because Chinese people tend to be, they like to gather, or they heard somebody, just like a lot of a foreigner, they like Irvine. Do you think Irvine, the price still really going up? Not really. Well, except the brand new house, maybe. But how many properties selling in Irvine? Tons of them. Tons of them. Hundreds. As much as like 500 to 600 property. Now it's a little bit less though. At the end of last year, I look at it, it's 500 to 600 properties for sale in Irvine. Compared to Roland High, 50, 60 property. Or Hacienda High, how many? 70, 80 properties for sale. It's all below 100 properties. So eventually last year we have 2017, now it's 2018. 2017 we have, oh, I'm sorry, I already go over the time. I'll just finish it pretty quick. Last year we have more inventory than 2016, but we will predict this year it's going to be less than last year, 2017, on the inventory. Huh? One? Why? Why? Because not only we have more buyers, just like we have 120,000 people, a population increase on last year in the Southern California. That's a lot. And are those people going to be what, sleeping on the street? More demand. Why the supply is low? Because more and more buyers thinking the housing market will still go up. Why? Not only our minimum wage is going up, when it's 2020, has to go up to $15. Now it's about like what? 12 and a half to 13 bucks. You still have a room to grow. Well, how about rental? Up. Then you will push the housing market higher. Low, yeah, still low interest rate. Yeah, still. Okay, we'll stop here. So I'll start with the next Tuesday on the D on the loans.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.